guys, I'm Kristen. Welcome and welcome back. Don't mind the empty bed behind me. It is laundry day. So today I'm going to be sharing my reading plans for the month of May. Almost at the end of April. I think it's like the 27th maybe today. So not too many days left. I've been wrapping stuff up. April has gone off the rails from my reading plans. That's okay. Otherwise, I've been generally sticking to a lot of my plans. But I'm in the middle of something that I'll tell you about that I needed to take a little break from and go in a total different vibe direction. This is something that I've been doing recently, which is like a very loose TBR pile of possibilities, just sort of like what are the new releases I have my eye on this month, what am I carrying over from the past month, and what is coming up available to me at the library. So the things that I'm going to be selecting from, or any particular priorities or goals that I'm trying to get to this particular month. So let's jump into it. The things that I'm carrying over into May with me from April will definitely be Jade Legacy. And that is one of the reasons that April went off the rails a little bit. To be fair, it was not the vibe that I was looking for. I wanted to read like light, fluffy stuff, and none of the light, fluffy stuff that I wanted to read was available either at Scribd or at the library. So I wound up picking up Jade Legacy, which is one of my priority reads for this year. It's a series continuation. Of course, it's an ending of a series as well. And I got to a part that I wanted to take a little step back from. So since that happened, it was about a week ago, and I think I've read like 5 contemporary romance books since then. Just like any contemporary romance book that I could get a hold of. Just anything to avoid further destruction. I think too, like I wasn't in a great place mental health wise, not in a terrible place, but feeling like a little bit more isolated, a little bit more lonely. And I was just like, no, I need something that I can put on audiobook that I can just listen to nonstop to get me through this. And that is contemporary romance for me. So yeah, I'm going to be carrying Jade Legacy over with me into May. Not really much else. I have like 27 minutes left of Once Upon a Broken Heart on the audiobook, so I think that'll be done by in the next day or two once I pick that up. So I don't think I'll be carrying that over into May. And really, other than that, I also have a copy of The Tainted Cup, which I have started. Very, very brief into maybe a chapter or two sort of into that, and I picked that one up kind of randomly. It's a skip the line hold, so I only have 7 days, so definitely I will be either not getting to it or finishing it in May. The Tainted Cup is a new release that came out earlier this year. It wasn't one that I was necessarily planning to read. It is a Robert Jackson Bennett book. It is my first Robert Jackson Bennett book. And it is a Sherlock Holmesian-esque murder mystery kind of thing where a tree, I'm sure you've heard, like starts growing out of the murder victim's body. Sorry, all good. And so one of our main characters is, I'm actually not sure if we're getting both POVs. I only found one POV so far. But of like the detective duo, one has like a perfect memory, and it's kind of like the Watson figure. And the other one is more of the super intelligent person, but for whatever reason, they like don't come to any of the crime scenes. They don't do any of the interviews. And so our like Watson perfect memory person like does all of the investigating for the investigator to like put everything together and figure it out. That's what I know about it. I've been seeing pretty good reviews, but also pretty mixed reviews, but enough things that have said that actually like kind of piqued my interest into wanting to pick this up. So I put it on hold, not expecting to get it anytime soon, and I got a quick skip the line copy. So here we are. I do technically still have The Grace of Kings out in the ether, but it's sort of like a not for now, I think, just in terms of while I figure out what format I would like to continue reading that one. So theoretically, I have not finished that. It's still like, picked up, but I'm not actively working on it at the moment. From there, let's jump into what is happening or what I have coming up available on hold at the library in the next 4 weeks. So let's get into that. It's a big list. It's very sci-fi heavy, surprisingly. So first being Those Beyond the Wall by Messiah Johnson. This is a continuation within the same world as The Space Between Worlds that I read a few years ago, whenever that came out. Apparently this has been getting bad reviews. I have not gone out of my way to see any, but Angela liked it. So that's a good note. However, Angela also said that the audiobook was really good, and my library only has the ebook. I'm a little bit confused as to what universe it might be. Maybe it'll be restricted to one universe, but it is a world in which they have found the way to travel between all of the various alternate universes, and there's like a protected sort of like walled city kind of a thing, and the outside of the city, like, and I think that's like what the title's referring to, those beyond the wall, it had like a little bit of like a post-apocalyptic type feel, and that like gringy crime lord kind of a vibe from the last book. And I think that is going to be the majority of the setting that we're in for this one, and we're following like another murder investigation. However, there was like, people saw the death and there was no one there. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really curious to see what I think about it. I also have available in the next 3 weeks The Book That Broke the World by Mark Lawrence. I have not gone out of my way to like really look at any reviews of this. However, I did see that Books with Brittany put it down, like DNF'd it, said it was like a no-go. So that makes me a little bit nervous. I don't know that I'll be picking it up immediately, but it is coming up soon, so I'll have the opportunity to decide whether or not I want to pick it up soon. And this is the second book, of course, and I don't know the name of the series actually, but it's following up with the book that wouldn't burn, that I read earlier this year and really loved. Labyrinths, libraries, star-crossed love, that kind of a thing. I talked about it recently. Then I also have a memory called Empire available soon in both the ebook and the audiobook. This is just a sci-fi that I've always had my eye on. I've never like actively gone out of my way to like put it on hold before this, but it is one that whenever people talk about it, I think, yeah, that could be interesting, where we are following a character who is sent to this particular world or this particular planet that she has always been really, really interested in. It's like part of their intergalactic empire, whatever, but like, you know, the far, far ends of the empire. And she's always been really curious and really into the culture, and she has the opportunity, or she's sent as the like empire's ambassador when they need a new one. And when she arrives to this planet, she discovers that the last ambassador is dead, or like isn't there, and she, I think, has to figure out whether it was natural causes, was it a murder, etc. So that has always been like a little bit intriguing to me. I've generally heard really good things about it, and I think that it is possibly a sci-fi book that could work for me, which is part of some of like a very small undeclared goal for this year. Then I have These Burning Stars, another sci-fi book. I think this is a debut by Bethany Jacobs, and this is one that I heard about on the channel Tony Morrow, and it's one of my like new releases from last year that I wanted to take a second look at. Let me read you a little bit. A dangerous cat and mouse quest for revenge, an empire that spans star systems built on the bones of a genocide, a carefully hidden secret that could collapse worlds, hunted by 3 women with secrets of their own. All collide in this twisty, explosive space opera debut, perfect for readers of Arkady Martin and Cameron Hurley. I am looking forward to finally getting to this. I really hope that it works out for me. Another one from that list of like new releases from last year that I want to get to, this one I heard about from Reagan from the channel Cruise Projects. Is that what her channel is called? You know Reagan. And that is The Deep Sky. And this is, again, another sci-fi, another audiobook that I have on hold. And I think it is like a closed-door spaceship, not necessarily murder mystery, but there's like an explosion that our main character has to, where people are killed. So like indirect murder, I guess, at the bare minimum. But our main character has to figure out what happened. And the whole setup here is that it's like Earth is ending, and these are kids that have all kids. I'm not actually sure the age range here. It's a group of individuals who have all gone to school with each other for years, and they are like the representatives from various countries that are sent out to do something. And our main character is like the alternate. So she wasn't chosen for like any particular role within the spaceship. She's like the backup person for all of the roles, and so because she doesn't have a particular role, she's the one that has to figure out what happened with this bomb that went off. And yeah, I don't know, all the things that Reagan said made it sound really, really cool. I think like there's like something going, I think there's like a lot of like internal self-doubt around the whole situation with being the alternate that we're like deeply exploring, while also exploring this like what happened here. So I think that could be a really interesting setup, and I'm curious to see what I think of it. Again, I'm just trying to pick out sci-fis that I think like, hey, that's a premise that I think I could have fun with, whatever the setting. And I'm typically not one to do like intergalactic stuff where they're like moving from planet to planet and crazy technologies involved. Like give me something that like is a little bit more rooted in like people in a sci-fi setting. I think that's going to be the sweet spot for me with sci-fi, but we'll see. And then also Age of Legend by Michael J. Sullivan, continuing on hopefully with my reading of the Legends of the First Empire. I think this is book number 4. It's audiobook. I did manage this. I have been listening to it on Everend, but books 4 through 6, they only have like the dramatized copies, which is not my vibe. So fortunately my library had the audiobook. So when that happens, I'm definitely going to be picking that up, hopefully in May. Then we've got our new releases for May that I have my eye on. I think I got an email from my library. I mentioned in a past video that my library has been doing a poor job new releases wise, but I've suddenly got a bunch, and I think that they had something happen that they like were not operating to full capacity, full potential, because I got an email about that, and then suddenly I started getting a bunch of new releases coming in. So that's exciting. Hopefully that changes how I'm able to, or my ability, hopefully that changes my ability to read the new releases that I would like to read this year. Okay, The Brides of High Hill, coming out on May 7th by Niveau, I believe. This is in, the Singing Hills cycle that is described as a standalone gothic mystery that unfolds within the Empire, which is interesting. Could be a totally different shift? I don't know. Singing Hills cycle number 5? I kind of think it's the last one, but honestly I thought that about the last one. So then we have The Honey Witch that's coming out on May 14th. It says here, fantasy, romance, LGBTQ, queer, witches, adult. I think it's cozy. I'm pretty sure that Kristen from Kristen Crave's channel, Kristen Crave's Books channel, I'm pretty sure Kristen liked it. It says here, the Honey Witch of Innisfree can never find true love. That is her curse to bear. But when a young woman who doesn't believe in magic arrives on her island, sparks fly in this deliciously sweet debut novel of magic, hope, and love overcoming all. Yeah, sounds like a cozy witch story. Also coming out on the 14th is The Paradise Problem, which is a Christina Lauren book. Totally forgot I had this on here. You know what? They're really hit and miss for me. The last couple have been hits though, so could be fun. Let's see. Christina Lauren returns with a delicious new romance between the buttoned-up heir of a grocery chain and his free-spirited artist ex as they fake their relationship in order to receive a massive inheritance. Classic setup. So we've got a little combo here. Second chance at love meets fake dating. I might have not overdone it on the contemporary romance, but I might be like contemporary romanced out after April for a little bit. So again, not one that I will necessarily pick up right away, but I will put it on hold so that I have the option to take it out whenever I would like. Not whenever I'd like, whenever it comes up and the mood strikes me. And then finally, expected to come out on May 21st, we have Goddess of the River by Vaishnavi Patel. I think this is the same author that wrote, forgetting what it's called. I can picture it so clearly. What was it called? I'll put it up. You know what I mean. This is another Indian, I think, mythology retelling from that author. It is about a goddess of the river and her doomed mortal son. A mother and a son, a goddess and a prince, a curse and an oath. A river whose course will change the fate of the world. So I didn't actually read the other book. I paid attention to the reviews for quite a while, and I feel like it was just I just suspected that I wouldn't totally love it. I think from hearing enough reviews, I think there were elements perhaps that I wasn't sure would be a total success. I had my eye on it for a really long time and it was always like a maybe, but I never quite pulled the trigger. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, see what the responses are. That book was a debut, this one isn't, so maybe it'll be even better. I don't know. I'll keep my eye out on the reviews for this one and go from there. So I think realistically, those are the things I'm going to have my eye on for May, the books that I'm going to be choosing from. Actually, now that I look back at the list, I don't really see any of my priority reads here. So I might have to have another look at that and see where I am at in terms of numbers, and if I can take a month off, if I've like doubled up elsewhere, or if I need to sneak in some of my priority reads into this month, then I will do so. But so far, so good. I think May could be really fun. I'm really excited about a lot of these books, to be honest, especially what I have coming up at the library. So I will leave it there for now. What do you guys have your eye on for the month of May? Do you like read seasonally? Are you pulling out your like spring, almost summer reads yet? Anyway, that is it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.